Hey, greetings, everybody. Keith and I, we wanted to create a special broadcast for everyone to see and discuss yesterday's market events. Yesterday, we woke up to the stock market just getting clobbered. No way around it. And Keith and I wanted to touch base with you all on just how we see it. And so we're just going to pop up our disclaimer real quick. Um, we're going to talk about the S&P 500, small caps, NASDAQs. All of these things are just our opinions. And if we look at them in the rearview mirror, uh, things might be closer than they appear. So we're just going to dive into the markets briefly to share some thoughts and opinions with you. And if you have specific things that you're concerned about, or that if this is causing you any anxiety at all, please reach out and give us a call. We've been there and we understand. So, Keith, way back in the day when I first started in the investment business in 1998, the markets were roaring. And I can remember I had a prospect. I really wanted to do business with him. And he said to me, Doug, I can't be your client. And I said, why is that? And he says, you've never been through a bear market. And I really didn't understand what he meant back then, but now I sure do. I've been through some bears. I think, we joke around about this, but the only thing that we're afraid of are bears. Here's my bear spray. So Keith, when you go through a day like yesterday, or you wake up to news where the stock market's just getting pummeled, what's going through your brain? What are you thinking about?
Well, I was looking at a quote, Doug, from Will Rogers, and he said, "Stocks, don't gamble. Take all your savings, buy some good stock, and hold it till it goes up, and then sell it. If it don't go up, don't buy it." And just
I like that.
it's one of my favorite quotes of all time. And I think having started my first day of straight commission the day after the crash of 1987, that I've got some war injuries, I've got emotional baggage that I've navigated through. And so all of that, I think, starts from that quote from Will Rogers. Like, if you don't start with the idea of risk in mind, then you're at the mercy of the markets. And I think that's one of the great things that we've learned to bring to our clients is that when you entrust your capital to us, we start with the risk we're subjected to your money before we worry about how much we're going to make you.
Yeah, that's very true. So every investment placed, that is something we keep in mind. We keep in mind, hey, what are the potential upsides here, and then what are the potential downsides to this specific investment that we're making on your behalf. And so here we are, Keith. We had a big sell-off yesterday, and market looks like it might want to try and rally some of that back. And one of the things you and I talked about was, well, what does this look like for the next few days ahead? And what's something that you would like to see happen over the next couple of days?
Well, again, I'm just going to tell a little story, but one of the guys that trained me did a, a speech or a lecture, and he called it kerplunk. That he was talking about when he would, as a boy, would skip stones across a creek or a lake. That every once in a while, a certain stone would make a certain noise that was really cool. And he pointed that out to stock selection. That every once in a while, you'll see a stock that just grabs you. When I think about it, we I grew up in Evansville, fishing on the stripper pits in Evansville, and my dad, there was a little island where my dad could put me where I wouldn't bang on the John boat, so to scare all the fish away. And I'd stand on that island by myself. It was big enough for maybe two people, but I would throw little rocks in the water and things. But if you throw a big rock in the water, it creates waves and ripples that go on for days, and not days, but longer than a little stone. And so that's what I think happened and started happening probably even before this week, but definitely on Monday, you had a big rock thrown in a small pond, and those ripples aren't going to go away. I don't think for several days. But so that's what I'd like to see. We've been talking on our show for many weeks about the low volatility, and now it's spiked up. So that volatility has to drop off for safety to kind of kick into overdrive.
Yeah. Yeah. And so while we're waiting for that to happen, money market rates are still paying pretty decent percentages. I mean, we're still right up around 5%. That's encouraging. And it's just a time of patience. And what I personally would like to see, I would like to see things calm down. But normally, after we've had a big sell-off, there tends to be some knee-jerk reactions by shareholders who just are motivated by fear and greed.
Yeah, I think, there's like if you go to a high school football game or a sporting event, there's fans on both sides, right? Like that's what it is. And so after a day like yesterday, there's people who are going to want to throw money at probably the Fab Seven stocks or something like that. They're going to want to jump in those. So you're going to see money coming in. There's some people that didn't get out and they want to get out, and so that's what the ripple effect is going to be. Is you've got two sides of every situation, and people are going to be eventually the market just brings all that anxiety of fear and greed. They've all voted at some point in the next few days, and then things settle down. So that's what I kind of envision happening for several days now.
So there were more sellers yesterday. There may be more buyers today. We don't know. But the thing that I want to encourage everybody with is there is a plan, there is a strategy, and that strategy works in times like these. That strategy works in bull markets too. But you all are investors. You've done a great job saving, and we really appreciate you trusting your resources with us to help you along this season of your life, or whether you're in a growth phase or you're in a hey, I'm retired. I'm not going back to work. I need to preserve. And so I just really appreciate your trust there. Keith, you got anything else to add? Or
I was writing an article about the path of adventure follows the line of great responsibility, and we envision that it's a great responsibility to handle your resources on your behalf. And for sure, we are not reacting to anything. We've got a plan in place. We started executing on the plan last month. Some of these decisions we're making, they are responsible decisions on our behalf, but they're going to create some capital gains for those of you who have taxable accounts with us. That's the nature of us making decisions and taking responsibility for you. And we take that into account when we're making the decisions we make, but we are grateful that you allow us this opportunity to serve you in such a way.
all right, so give Keith a call, call me, call Phil. We are really happy to talk with you. And other than that, Keith, have a great day.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks.